My name is Karen Bailey, and I want to share my experiences with interpreting here in Michigan. Most time it's been pretty positive, but right here I want to talk about 5 specific negative situations that were actually really awful. I had a new doctor. Really, my doctor was wonderful. I really enjoy working with her. And I wanted to continue, but the problem is her hospital has a contract with a really bad agency, and the name of that agency is DHIS. 5 times I've had problems that have happened to me because of them. 3 times, no one showed up at all. I had no interpreter for my appointment. I can't drive because I'm deafblind. And it requires 2 hours for me to get to the doctor's office. So when the interpreter doesn't show up, it is awful, so frustrating. And my doctor gets frustrated as well and tries to be supportive and encourages me. But she understands how frustrated I am, and so is she as well. Ugh, just is awful. Those were 3. They all happened where they didn't show up. The other situation happened where I did have an interpreter this time. She showed up dressed kind of in dirty, sloppy clothes, and her signing was not good at all. She didn't understand the doctor. She kept asking the doctor over and over and over again to spell words that were really common medicines. I actually had to help the interpreter spell the word. Anyway, my doctor and I were kind of looking at each other, like giving each other, you know, we understood what was going on, frustrating. The doctor left the room and during the break, and the interpreter said, "Have you found a church here yet?" And I said, "No." I hope that wasn't the end of the conversation, but I was hoping that was the end of the conversation, but she continued. She said, "You need to come to my church." She kept telling me all this stuff about her church and trying to convince me to go to her church. And I said, "Really, I don't want to go to your church. I'm fine, thanks. I'm satisfied." So anyway, but she kept pressing. For like a half an hour, she kept going on, and finally the doctor came back. Oh, and I was so relieved. Anyway, that appointment finished, and I thought, oh, I never wanted that interpreter again. And then when I was leaving the building, she followed me and again bugged me and was saying hello and asking me again about the church, reminding me about her church. She gave me a paper related to her church or something like that. It was just... Ugh. And then later she found my Facebook page, and she kept sending me messages about her church again and again and again. It was not appropriate and not professional. I found out she wasn't a certified interpreter. She didn't have any medical experience. So interpreting experience, it was awful. My last bad experience with them, it actually, 2 times I had the same interpreter from DHIS. She was, again, dressed really sloppily. I arrived in the building, and I saw her smoking outside, whatever, you know. But I went into the building, and I was waiting. And she went in, and she sat down with me and said hello. She was friendly. She just smelled so bad of smoke. It was awful. At a doctor's appointment, really very strong smell of tobacco, cigarettes. Finally, I wrote to the secretary after my appointment. Of course, I waited for the interpreter to leave. And then I wrote and I said, "Please do not contact that agency again. Please." My doctor emailed me and said, I emailed her and said, "Please find another agency." And she agreed. I didn't really know how the whole interpreting process worked, but she could see that I wasn't satisfied with the interpreter. It almost made our communication worse, really. So now, anyway, my doctor has sat down with her office manager, and the two of them now have contacted their superior at the hospital, and they said, that is not acceptable. So anyway, I'm happy that my doctor supports me, and I'm happy that I'm able to advocate for myself, but I feel like it was really awful and gross. So thank you for your time.